Hi, today is 15th September 2025. Now time is 2:50 a.m. I just want to start the recording today with the from the day it all started, the mess when it started. It's April 30, 2024. It was a usual day for us. Me and my wife with kids, small kids. We took my daughter to school. We dropped her and then came back home morning. I went to gym as usual, then came back home again. Then me and my wife together. My son is very small at that time. He's around 1.5 year old. We were taking him out, and then we're feeding him. After lunch, we came back home again. We went and we picked my daughter. Evening, I was with my kids. I just took them out. For, we were playing together in the garden in the park. There in the place where we're staying. At around 5:30 p.m. in the evening, I called my partner, business person partner. His name is Vamsi. I called him. I called him because it was a month end. April 30 is a month end. Usually on month end we have a lot of transactions to be made. I have to make around 50,000 USD transactions. I have to pay for the bank's EMIs, and then I have to pay for people monthly things. So many things. I just called him to just check it out on when the amounts will be transferred, the money will be transferred so that I can make the transfers. But that fellow, he didn't speak to me, not even at least for a minute. I think around 30 to 40 seconds he spoke, and he told he'll call me back. Then again, I was in my same routine. I was playing with my kids, and then again took them back to my home. At around 7:30 in the night, I was having dinner at home. Me and my wife, we both were standing in the kitchen itself. She was making dinner, and we were talking there itself, and then we are eating, and then we're talking. Even by that time, I called my friend Vamsi. A couple of times I called him again. He didn't pick the call. I did even drop a message on WhatsApp, saying to call me back. He didn't reply for that as well. Usually, when we are in business and when we are partners or friends, very close in the business things, we usually respond. It's not like we don't miss the calls. No, those many times. He didn't respond. He didn't pick the calls. He didn't respond to messages as well. At around 7:30 p.m. in the evening, I called to one of our common friend. He actually works to that guy Vamsi. No, his name is let's change the name. I don't want to give the exact name. Let's put it as Suman. Yeah, Suman. I called Suman because he works for him, and that fellow stays close to Vamsi's house, very close. So I called him. Usually that fellow hangs out with this fellow. So if he has any works, they'll be hanging out there. I called him. I said, if Vamsi is with you, hand over the phone to him. I want to talk. Then Suman told me, no, he's not with me, and he's not picking my calls also. There are a couple of people who called me, and they're asking about where is Vamsi because he's not picking the calls. He told the same thing to me. Then I was like, okay, why is he not picking my calls also? I don't know why. Then I asked him, why don't you call to his family and ask if he has come to home? Then he called his mother-in-law. And she told that Vamsi didn't come to home yet, and they're also waiting. And she asked what happened, and this fellow told, no, he's not responding to the calls. He's not picking our calls. So I thought I'll check with you. She was little, worried. Then I was on con call at that time. I was just silent. Call is on. Then I was just silent in the call. After that, I was talking to this guy Suman. I told, when was the last time you spoke to him? He told at around 7 o'clock he spoke, and that fellow Vamsi told him that he was going to another city to hand over cash to someone else because he has to give some cash. So he said in particular place he was at the particular place at that time. So then I thought, okay, let's go and check there because we have no clue where he is. No, meanwhile, when these are happening, many of the other friends were also calling us and asking, hey, that guy is not picking the call. Do you know where he is, or did he pick the call? secure calls. This kind of inquiries have been happening, and people started calling us. And me and Suman, we decided to go to that place, last seen place, the place where he told to Suman that he was there. We thought we'll go there and we'll check it out. We'll check out, because we don't know, we have no clue where to search for him. Then we went there. We means actually geographically there are two cities, Guntur and Vijayawada. Two cities named Guntur and Vijayawada. I'm residing in a city called Vijayawada, and Vamsi and Suman, the other people, majority of the people are residing in Guntur, city called Guntur. So these both cities, they're approximately 35 kilometers away. So in between the both the cities, there is one toll plaza. So that is a place where he said that Vamsi told that he was there when he called to Suman. So I told to Suman that I'll come from Vijayawada to that center point where toll plaza where he called him and told that he was there. And meanwhile, this woman also told, I'll also come from Guntur. I'll also join. Then I went. I started. It's around, I still remember the time. It's around 8:10, 8:15. I started from my home. I went to that place. Now, I don't know whom to ask there. There were a lot of people there. It's a toll plaza where they collect the tolls on the highway when the vehicles are moving. And there are so many police at that time, because in India, April 30, 2024 was there were elections, general elections happening in India. So each state has different dates, and the state where we were located, they already have the election code running. That means we are not free to move the cash. We have restrictions in carrying the cash, all those things. So typically, we'll have a lot of police will be there deployed, and they will be checking the vehicles randomly to see if we are carrying any non-wanted things or cash, whatever it is. Then we were suspecting, like, the main concern, what triggered to me and someone were, because this fellow told he wants to hand over cash to some other guy in the other city. He was going there. I was like, okay, maybe if some police have stopped him for the random checks, and maybe he was there with the cash, maybe it was a problem. And we thought that is where they took his mobiles, or maybe he was in a police station or something. We don't know. We just random thoughts, because at that time we used to carry a lot of cash here and then. Then that was the most concerning thing for us. I went there to that common point, and there were police there. I went to the police people and I asked them, sir, since morning, did you find any cases with people carrying the cash, or are there any accidents that happened in this area? And that particular inspector told me that they just came to it is a second shift. They came to the work, and they said, I just came to the work. Let me check with the first shift guy. He called someone else and checked, and he told no such cases were registered since morning in this area. Then meanwhile, I was telling to my wife to check with my old friends. I have old friends in my hometown. They are also we all have financial transactions with each other. So my friend called them, and they helped us in tracking his mobile number. We could use some connections in the police, and then we got his number and then started tracing the location. I got the coordinates very fast. My wife could pull the coordinates, and then she forwarded it to me. I took the coordinates, and it was around 4 kilometers from the place where I'm standing at that time. And I decided to go there. Meanwhile, this woman also came there, and he also joined me. We both sat in my car, and we both traveled to that place. We started going to that place. That was actually that place was so isolated, the location. That was there is a main highway and main road. It's a big highway, a national highway. We need to get on a service road and go to a village which is nearby. And from then on, when we went to the village, at one point of time, we couldn't drive through car because the roads were very small. We stopped aside, and then we started walking in the night. The road was taking us to the fields, empty fields. It was so dark there. We turned on the flashlights on the mobile, and we were walking. And me and someone were talking, and someone was telling to me, "No, why do you think Vamsi will be here? Because his car is not there. No, it is very dark here. Why will he be here? No, let's go back. There's no point in searching." I said, like, let's go to the pin location, the location where the pin is showing. It's just few hundred meters, and see. There's so many things going on in the background. Like, what if he was hurted for that money? If someone has hurt him, so such nonsense things are happening, running in the background. Someone was telling logically, like, because his car, Omsi used to use ES 300H, that Lexus 300H he used to use, and so it's a sedan, big car. So like that won't fit in that small roads. We can't even find his car also in somewhere else in that village. But still, I insisted, and then we walked. A lot of dogs were there in the dark. They're shouting at us because we were walking like a mad fellows in the dark. At around 10:30 p.m. we were walking. Then there was nothing there. We went to the pin location. There was nothing there. We couldn't find anything, and we started coming back, walking back to my car. Meanwhile, there is one more friend. His name is Murali. Again, I changed the name. He is also financially, investing into this Vamsi company. He is also staying in Guntur. That fellow is also worried because he's not picking the call. He was continuously in touch with Suman. I'm not very close to him at that point, but I know him on Facebook. We used to talk when we meet. That's all. He called Suman and he was asking, where is he? Where is he? And he was updating that we got the coordinates and we're going to the particular village. And he told, I will also come. Meanwhile, he is also driving from that Guntur city and coming to that the location where we got the coordinates. When he's coming, he found Vamsi's car on highway, national highway, on the road itself, which we missed it, and we drove fast at that time. We were only going to that location. So he called us and he told, where are you? His car is right just on the highway itself. I could see him. He's unconscious in the car. Come fast. That's what he said. Then we rushed. Me and Suman, we drove it very fast, and then we went to that place location. It was right on the highway. The car is just pulled to the left. Engine is running. I went to the driver's seat window. I looked at it. I looked at him from the window. That fellow, he has leaned to the right side. His eyes were 1/4 open. I could see that something has happened because eyes are 1/4 open. If unconscious, people will not open the eyes, right? At least that's what I know. Then I felt something is wrong. There were only 3 people there at that place: me, Suman, and Murali. And we thought we'll break the car was locked from inside. We thought we'll break the glass, and we found a big rock. Suman found a big rock, and he started breaking the glass from the passenger side window. But that make is very strong there. When we're not able to break it, it was like an elastic. When we're hitting it with the rock, it's coming back again, not breaking. Then we decided to break the front window, front glass. Then people have stopped. People who were going on the road, the highway, they also looked at us, and few people stopped. Almost 10 to 12 people were gathered, and they also helped us breaking the glass. We braked it finally, and they opened the door from the passenger side, and they unlocked it on the door side, driver side. I was standing on the driver's side. Once I opened the door, that fellow body leaned on me, and then I could see his heart is not running. He has no senses, basically. His body has become very cold. I thought because of the AC which is running there. But and his eyes were half open, not half, 1/4 open. And on his left hand, there is a cannula fixed, and the cannula is opened. There is a blood mark which was just started from cannula, and it has gone straight to near to the elbow. Then I started beating on his heart, trying to do some CPR, but the other guys, Murali, was very shocked. He was very upset. He was praying. He was asking. He was shouting like, "Vamsi, get up! What happened? Vamsi, get up! What happened? Oh, get up, man! What happened?" He was shouting. He's crying. Then meanwhile, we called an ambulance. Murali called an ambulance, and ambulance arrived. Ambulance people, the staff in the ambulance, he got down, and he checked his body, and he said he's dead. We were shocked, and we insisted to do something, and because of our pressure, he took him. They lifted him onto the ambulance, and they rushed him to the nearby hospital. There was a hospital nearby, just 1 kilometer away. It's a big hospital. They took him there, and Murali went with him in the ambulance. Me and Suman were at the car only because at that moment our minds were so disturbed. I'll tell you the incident. When Murali has left with Vamsi in ambulance, Murali came there in his own car. It's BMW 7 Series. He didn't even turn off the engine. He just carried his car keys with him. Car was running. He just locked it and he went in ambulance. Because we broke his Vamsi's car, we thought we'll stay there because people have gathered. We thought we'll stay there and we'll check if the car has any valuables so that people are there. We don't want anyone to take away anything there. To lock it, the access card for the car is in Vamsi's pocket. He already left in the ambulance. So me and Suman has no other way. We were standing there at the car itself. We told to Murali that you go, we'll come. They went in ambulance, and me and Suman were standing there. We were searching in the car if there is any cash or any valuables. There is nothing there. Because there is nothing, then we turn off the engine, and then we also went in my car to the nearby hospital. We went there. When I went there, the scene was like Murali was standing, and meanwhile Murali's brother also came there. They both are standing outside the emergency section. One of the doctor whom they know, he walked away. He walked from the emergency and he came towards them. Meanwhile, I also walked to near Murali, and doctor was telling to him that no, he's dead. It's been almost more than 2.5 hours since he's dead, and this death doesn't look normal. It looked like a forceful death. That's what he said. It's basically a suicide. I was so shocked. I was silent. I was just stable. I don't know how to express this. I was silent. There was nothing going on in my mind. I was just leaning on. There is a pillar there. I'm just leaning towards that pillar and just standing like that. That's all. There is nothing. I don't know. I'm not getting any expressions there. Just standing. I was in shock. Murali was shouting, and he was calling someone. He was making some calls. They were discussing something. Meanwhile, my wife called me, and I told to her that this fellow Vamsi has passed away, and she was also upset, and she's also silent. There shock, right? A shock, and she also didn't speak anything. She said okay, and she disconnected the call. And meanwhile, she told to my school friends in other city, and they also started driving towards our place, the hospital. I was just leaning towards the pillar, and then one of the other partner we have, his name is Narayan. I changed the name. He came meanwhile because we told him when we are doing all these things. He came, and the moment he stepped out of the car, he stepped out of the car. He looked at me, and he started shouting, this fellow has betrayed us. Our lives have ruined. He just sat on the mud down. He didn't even come to the emergency section. There were a lot of plants there, flower plants. He just sat there on the mud, and he started shouting. He's literally shouting. He's crying. He's yelling at me, saying, this fellow betrayed us, Jan. We have lost everything. Then I was trying to console him, but he's not at all listening. He's shouting, he's yelling. Many people who are standing outside emergency, sitting there, were staring at us. Then I just took out this hospital staff. They took all the Vamsi's belongings in his pocket, and his gold chain, what he's wearing, and gold rings. They just took all of them and they gave it to me. I have put it in my pocket, and that also has the car access card. I gave it to that guy Narayan, and I told Suman, he's not getting control here. Why don't you both go there to that car place, Lexus place, and then lock the Lexus and car, Vamsi's car. And they both left with the access card. I told him to check it again thoroughly in the car. If there is anything we missed, any valuables. Again, they went to the car, and I was just at the hospital itself. Then the attender from the emergency, he came out. He came out with a stretcher. with Vamsi's body. It was closed. Only the face was visible. Rest all was closed with the white cloth. They wrapped it up with the white cloth. And that fellow asked if can anyone accompany him because he needs help to put him in the mortuary. No, that what do you call mortuary bed, like a cooling thing. What's available there? No one moved. I went there. I went with him. I said I'll come. I went there. We opened the door. We went inside. He's trying to open that mortuary thing to place his body in that cooling thing, but it is not coming. He said, "Sir, you just please stay here. I'll come in 2 minutes." Then he left. I was the only one standing there with his body, and there are few more bodies inside that drawers, cooling chambers. That was the moment. You know, I got tears from my eyes because I was alone. Maybe my emotion, I don't know, maybe my emotion came out because I was alone at that time. Then I started crying. Because his hand, it's fully wrapped. His body is fully wrapped. I could touch his hand. I was just telling to him, why did you do this? If there is any such big issues, such big problems, you should discuss. Why did you do this? This is what I was talking to that fellow, Vamsi. I was getting tears. I was just standing there. I was just talking to him. Then in 2 minutes, that fellow came. I turned back. He said, "Sir, you leave." Then I left back. I left out. I came out. I just came out and I was sitting there outside. Meanwhile, Vamsi's mother-in-law and Vamsi's wife has come. Vamsi's wife and his wife's sister, along with his mother-in-law, has come. Vamsi's wife and his wife's sister, they both came into the mortuary. They saw his body, dead body, and then they started crying. They came out, and then meanwhile, Vamsi's wife's uncle, that fellow also came with them. That fellow came to me, and he was very, very, very subtle. No sad, nothing. He's not at all sad. He's casual. Just walked towards me and he asked like, "Hey, where are Vamsi's belongings? The chain, the watch, the belongings. What he has? Where are those?" I said, "Boss, I have with me only." I just took all of them and I gave it to him. I don't have access card because Nara and they went there. Rest all I gave it to him. That was the moment I literally thought I'll slap him because we were all very sad. He's Vamsi, me, Nara, and we both studied together in a college. Our relation is not 1 year, 2 year relation. We have got a 17 years relation. We studied together. We are in touch. We worked at the same places. We joined in the same company initially. We have a good relations. We know each other since 17 years, 17 long years. We're more than friends. And that fellow, his wife's uncle, he was like, as if we were taking any valuable things from him. He was asking us. I gave him things. And that is the moment I saw people. A few people will be like that. Then after that, a police inspector have come because this hospital people, they've informed police saying that it's a suspicious death. And that's where police people have come. They took a statement from me. They asked who is the one who's first traced, and I had to go and give the statement. After that, they told, "Can you help one of our police constable to take the vehicle from that national highway to the police station?" And constable, the particular person said, "Sir, can you help me because I can't drive. It's a big car, so I don't know how to operate." I went there. I drove the car, and again that police person have dropped me back to the hospital. I came to the hospital again. After that, when I came to the hospital, his mother also came. Vamsi's mother along with his sister, they both came. When she's old, she got down from the car. They didn't even go into the mortuary and saw his body. They just got down from the car. They saw me, and his mother started crying, yelling, like, "What happened to my son? What happened to my son?" So I was just staring. I was just silent. Then she also started yelling like, "People killed my son. People killed my son. They were continuously beating him. And they killed my son." I was so shocked because it related to me, because doctors have told me that one of the doctor told that it is suspicious death and it looks like a suicide, and she was claiming that someone is beating and someone has killed him. I thought I was so curious. I said, who was beating him, auntie? She didn't reply. She was yelling at what happened to my son. I looked at Vamsi's mother-in-law because she was also standing there. I just looked at her, and I asked, "No, who was beating him?" And she said, "No, no, nothing like that. No, nothing like that." And she ignored. She just tried to say that nothing. She consoled me that saying nothing and nothing like that. No, she just telling ignore Vamsi's mother because she is in that no pain. After that, her mother and sister, his mother and sister, Vamsi's mother and sister, they cried a lot. They didn't even went into mortuary and saw the dead body because they were so upset. They're crying, and they just went because Vamsi's mother is almost she's about to faint. Then we have sent her back. They both left from the hospital. I'll continue the rest in the next episode. It's getting late now.